Hi everyone, it's Rick here from the Game Creators. Welcome to another AppGameKit tutorial. Today we're going to look at primitives, 3D primitives. So what are 3D primitives? Well, as you can see on the screen, there's a little demo running and it's creating 3D objects from commands. So it's creating things like cubes, spheres, cones and cylinders, all by the power of AppGameKit's primitive commands. And this little demonstration will show you how you can do that yourself. Okay, so let's just exit the demo and have a look at the source code. As usual, we've got our setup code and we'll come down to this function here, set scene. This pretty much does most of the work. If we right click on this function, we can go to the tag definition, so it'll jump to where the function is in the source code. So currently at line 21, it'll jump us down to line 70, function set scene. So what does this do? Well, it first sets up a little border, so it creates object box X and Y and Z, and the same for the right side, the front side and the far side. So let's just run this and I'll show you where the box is created. See this outline box here, this grey box? That's what those commands are doing. It's creating an object box and then it's positioning the box and it's doing 4 of these into 3D space. So you can see the X and the Y and the Z are different in each create box object, and then the position is set. So you can analyze that, you can play around. I mean, if we just took this value here, made that bigger, rerun it, you'll see that one of the walls, as it spins round, there we are, there's a massive wall on that side. So have a play around with those values, and you could even move things around as well, see how things are affected by those changes. Then we come into this for next loop for t equals 1 to 50. Okay, so it's going to run around this loop 50 times. It's going to make this value selector a random number between 1 and 4. Okay, and if say selector becomes 1, it's going to do a select case. So this is a special loop, select case. So it says select selector. So let's imagine 1 came out of that random value. Then it will do this inside the loop here, in this case and then case loop area here. So it creates an object capsule and it uses random values to create the size of it, and then it positions it in a random place and it sets a random colour. Now if the value was 2, it will do a cone. If it's 3, it'll do a sphere, and if the values are 4, it'll do a cylinder. If we run the demo, you can see there are 50 items, different shapes, different positions and different colours. So that's what that loop does, all in there. You can play around those values and see what happens. Then we've got some other scenes where we create a row of cylinders, a row of cones, a row of capsules and a row of spheres, and then we jump out of the function. So we go back to where we called set scene. Okay, that's all that does. It sets up all those areas in the 3D world. Then it says scene is 1 and it sets a timer based on the current timer, and we enter this do loop. So this is the main loop of this demo. So if timer minus move on is greater than 10, then we must have had 10 seconds and we'll move on to the next scene. This is all this is doing, and if it gets to 5 it'll go back to scene number 1. So it's just a control to say every 10 seconds change the scene number. And again we've got a select case loop based on the scene number. If it's scene number 1, then we're going to show the random primitives. This is the first scene, so again this is scene number 1. What it does is it sets a camera position where that particular scene has been made, and it rotates the camera, and it also moves the camera to a location. So if we just stop the rotation, run the demo, you can see there's no rotation now. Another thing you could try is, instead of the Y, rotate around the X, and you get a different effect. So that's what that scene does there. Oop. So when we come to case 2, we change the camera position, and we also make the camera look at, we're saying camera number 1 look at this X and this Y and Z. There's also a roll value, but we're not setting that. And the same happens for looking at cones, and then looking at the capsules and looking at the spheres. So we've run the whole demo. Scene number 1 is shown. We've got the rotation, and after 10 seconds the scene will change to show the cylinders. So this is scene number 2, and again 10 more seconds will pass and we're in scene 3 and we can see the cones. Again 10 more seconds will pass, the scene will change and we see the capsules. Then finally, after 10 more seconds, scene changes and we see the spheres. Then we'll loop back to scene number 1. And it just keeps rotating through the different scenes. That's what this demo does. Please have a good look at it, play around with lots of values, get a feeling of where things are being produced in 3D space, play around with the position of the camera and what the camera's looking at, and you'll start to really get a feel for how things are set up in 3D. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. We'll be back with another 3D demo very soon. Bye.